Every so often they'll release a designer fragrance that can rival the most opulent, regal, and elegant niche releases. Sometimes it can surprise people that a scent so well blended and of such high quality can come from a designer fragrance house. More surprising still is just how affordable those fragrances can be. Chopard's Black Incense Malaki was one of those, and its older brother, Oud Malaki, is absolutely one of those as well. So if you're interested in very affordable designers that smell just like the most regal of niches, this is going to be a review for you. Hey everybody, welcome back to Real Scent Review. Tonight I have a really amazing offering from the house of Chopard. Chopard is one of those houses that is just so good. They have so many amazing releases. They're a designer fragrance brand. They're actually most known for their watches, but their fragrances, in my opinion, are just out of this world, and in the designer realm, they can rival the very best of them. Tom Ford, Guerlain, quality, absolutely. Hell, I think this can rival a lot of niche fragrances out there as well. A little while ago, I reviewed this guy's younger brother, Black Incense Malaki. This one definitely shares some similarities. I don't think it's quite as intense or divisive as that one, but it absolutely does not sacrifice any of the uniqueness. This is just a phenomenal scent here. I can't wait to get into this one. Start with the presentation as usual. The box here, rectangular. It's Chopard Oud Malaki on the front. We can see the volume down below here. Eau de Parfum concentration, gold cardboard. It's painted, it's made to look like a metallic gold all around the edges of the box here. On the back, there's a saying. You can read that if you want to. On the top, it's the stylized C in cursive writing. It's raised cardboard, very nice looking box. On the bottom here, we have the ingredients, batch code, and the barcode. So the bottle here, the bottles in this Malaki line are absolutely some of the best in designer perfumery, in my opinion. This bottle is so heavy, it's rock solid, solid glass. The cap as well, it's made to look like a watch because Chopard, like I said, is most known for their manufacturing of watches. Love the caps. Look at this, solid gold, looks like solid gold, although it's just metal. The Chopard in cursive writing on the top. Love, love, love this cap. It's a heavy cap too, by the way. It's not hollow, metal. There's some weight to it. Now, in my previous review of Black Incense Malaki, I was complaining about the sticker on the front here. On that previous bottle, the sticker was like coming off almost. And this one here seems to be better quality. It's stuck on there really well. I don't think this sticker is going anywhere. So there you go, Chopard. You've redeemed yourself. No, honestly, I'm not usually one for bottles. I usually don't care what the bottle looks like, unless it looks exceedingly elegant and exceedingly brilliant, like this one, for example. But most of the time, I really don't care about what the bottle looks like. It's what's on the inside that counts. That's what my mom always used to tell me. And of course, on the bottom of the bottle here, we have the batch code written again with the volume and yada, yada, yada. Guys, it's that time again. It's time to get a spray out of the way, very happily. So, you know, the atomizer, not the strongest, doesn't have the widest distribution, but it gets the job done, and the smell, which is what really matters, is freaking awesome. So the notes that I detect, in the top, tobacco and saffron. In the mid, I get some honey, myrrh, and cardamom. In the dry down, I get some guaiac wood, cardamom, and leather. So when you first spray this on, you're gonna be hit with a huge walloping of tobacco, but more so saffron. It's like a sweet, earthy tobacco mixed with a heavy, very spicy, very earthy saffron. The opening can be a little bit intense. I personally find it enjoyable, but I think, you know, a lot of people could be taken off guard just by the sheer power of this opening. Very spicy, and you also get that sweet, earthy tobacco in the background as well. Now in the mid, it definitely starts to sweeten up considerably. So I definitely detect a honeyed sweetness. There's absolutely honey in this as far as my nose can detect. And there's some myrrh and also some cardamom. So the honey gives it a very nice sweetness without being cloying. And the myrrh gives it a camphoric, kind of balsamic characteristic. It has that cooling effect, right? Like some people would just say like, oh, that smells kind of mentholated or it smells minty. I definitely get that in the middle here, although it's not like a straight up mint. It's more so kind of just a cooling sensation that can be characteristic of a lot of types of myrrh. And there's definitely a warm, spicy cardamom in this. I think it's cardamom because in the beginning, the saffron is very spicy, yeah, but the saffron's more earthy, and the cardamom has a definite sweetness. There's a definite greenness to the cardamom, you know, along with that spice. Anyway, that's what I get in the middle here, and it is just phenomenal. So in the dry down, definitely get some guaiac wood, a lot of leather. So the dry down maintains that sweet, warm spice with a little bit of the greenness that's going to be coming from the cardamom. But there's definitely some guaiac wood. So it's a dark charred wood. It smells kind of smoky, but a very dark smoke. And that's mixed with a slightly animalic leather. The leather in this is very, I want to say, oily. It's not a clean type of leather. It's not straight up animalic, but it's definitely not clean. It kind of straddles the line between clean and animalic. It doesn't go in either extreme, but I would say that it's probably not for beginners, if that makes any sense. So all in all, in this fragrance, we're gonna get a lot of tobacco, warm spice, and a little bit of charred wood and heavy leather in the bottom. Now, if you'll notice, oud was not included in my note breakdown. That's because I do not detect any. You know, let's be honest, especially in the designer world, but sometimes in the niche world as well, oud is just kind of used as a marketing gimmick. You know, a lot of times, especially designer fragrances will put the word oud in the name of a fragrance. They're anticipating that we will see the word oud and associate it with Middle Eastern luxury. You know, some designers have oud. Well, I should say very few designers have real oud. A lot of them have an oud accord, however, that can be synthesized in a laboratory. Regardless, I don't get any oud, I don't get any oud accord in this. What I do get though is that guaiac wood in the dry down, which is kind of like a burnt wood. It definitely has a tarry characteristic as well. It's something that's, it's not animalic, but it's not beginner friendly. It might not be the most appetizing note out there. I love it, but not everybody is going to. And another thing I gotta say here, as I said in the beginning of this video, this smells to me a lot like Black Incense Malaki, the younger brother of this one. So in Black Incense Malaki, we definitely get that animalic leather and smoke. There's a little bit, a tiny little bit of oud that I can detect in that one that I don't get in this one. But definitely the combination of the leather, the guaiac wood, and the spicy cardamom give this one the same sort of tarry, almost industrial characteristic that Black Incense Malaki has. So in Black Incense Malaki, that industrial characteristic I'm referring to is very divisive. It seems like, you know, it's 50-50 as to the amount of people who are going to like it or hate it. I'm in the camp, obviously, I love Black Incense Malaki, but I can acknowledge that it's very challenging. A lot of people are not going to like it. So although this oud Malaki definitely shares some of that DNA, it is toned down considerably in this, and it's sweetened up with a lot of honey and that sweet earthy tobacco as well. So, you know, similar, very similar DNA, but this is not nearly as divisive as Black Incense Malaki. But that DNA is still there, just toned down quite a bit, like I said. In my opinion, out of the Malaki line, we have oud Malaki, there's Black Incense Malaki, Rose Malaki, Amber Malaki, Musk Malaki, and I think there's a new one, Cedar Malaki. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's all of them. Out of this whole line, I think this is the fragrance that totally splits the difference between interesting / challenging and appealing. This one here, like I said, definitely has characteristics of that Black Incense Malaki, or rather Black Incense Malaki has characteristics of this one, you know, a little bit challenging, maybe slightly industrial, but like I said, because of that sweet honey, because of that really nice, beautiful, sweet, earthy tobacco, this one, you know, is far more appealing than Black Incense Malaki, but it still remains very unique. It still remains so classy, so elegant. Out of the designer world, this is really hard to beat. It's up there with the very best quality designers, in my opinion. Now, where would I wear this? I would wear this to any special event, really. It's interesting enough to where people are gonna be wondering what you're wearing, but I don't think it would offend anybody unless you wore this to, like, you know, school or something like that. Wouldn't recommend this for a young person. Age 30 plus definitely leans masculine, in my opinion. So like I said, formal, you wear this when you're wearing a suit, you're gonna be totally rocking it. You're gonna be balling. Yeah, I find this dresses up, absolutely. A night out on the town, for example, you're gonna be smelling really good wearing this. Hell, I would even wear this to a formal date. I don't know, I'd wear it anywhere except for school. I would probably avoid wearing it in the office. It's a little bit daring without being totally offensive, you know what I mean? So I don't know if it's really safe for the office. I think it's a little bit sexy as well. I think this is something you want to wear when you're going out, right? When you want to make a statement, or if you want to be taken very seriously at a business event or a fancy gala or something like that. Yeah, so again, purely for the adults out there, I don't think it's for beginners. You might find the odd beginner that would appreciate this, but I think this requires an intermediate level nose at least to be able to appreciate the nuances and just the smell in general of this. I mean, it is just stupendous. It smells fantastic. One of my very favorite fragrances, especially for fall and winter time. So it goes without saying, if you're a tobacco fan and you haven't tried this fragrance yet, you're really doing yourself a disservice. You should absolutely go pick this one up, because the price of this a lot of times is very, very good. So for example, in the European Union right now, Brasti has this 80 milliliter bottle for 50 euros. Very good price. And Fragrancenet has it in North America for 92 US. Now 92 US for this, definitely more expensive than it is here in Europe. But first of all, I'm gonna say this, I think it's worth $90 US. But I will also say Fragrancebuy usually has this, and it's usually on for much, much cheaper. I've seen it on Fragrancebuy for like $60 US for an 80 milliliter bottle. Only problem is Fragrancebuy is sold out right now. But if you're in North America, I would keep checking Fragrancebuy and, you know, just all of the discounters and find this at a good price. And if you're into collecting at all, you just gotta try this one. Anyway, guys, that's been my review of Oud Malaki by Chopard. In my opinion, maybe it should be called Tobacco Malaki, but whatever. The amazing smell of this supersedes the inaccurate name. And anyway, thanks for tuning in for this one, guys. Tune in next time, and until then, keep it real.